Hi there, I'm Timothy Linsdau, video producer, Christian, interest in civics and government. I only live about 2 miles from the Mexican border between San Diego and Tijuana. And again, we have struggles going on with the border caravan. A couple days ago, a group of about 150 migrants started throwing rocks and rushing the border, and here we go again. I mean, it creates a phenomenal amount of danger, not only for the immigrants, but also the Border Patrol and any others that might be around there. It's a mess. You know, and for San Diego, you know, we have probably one of the best climates in the world. But right now, in the morning, it's in the 30s, and that's pretty cold for us. Now, could you imagine those folks being out there in tents? I don't know how good their sleeping conditions are, but that's cold for us, especially when you're used to warm weather. For those of you living in the more Arctic climates, I'm sure that's a laugh to you, but these people are pretty unprotected where they're at in numerous ways. And Mexican government, Tijuana, they want to shut these things down. It's costing them a lot of money and problems. You know, it's a real shame that the UN, the United Nations, there must be some kind of a negative for that, maybe the useless nations that do nothing to help these people. They want Mexico and the US to spend all the money and time to take care of these people who shouldn't be here in these mass amounts to start with. It makes it extremely difficult for everyone. The U.S. Border Customs and Border Patrol said that this group made a rush, trying to hand kids over concertina wire and the danger of that getting over the wall. People think they can hide. You know, you hear the constant harangue about the wall. There's quite a wall, actually, that exists in this area called built by a program called Operation Gatekeeper. And it's actually quite large in this area. It reduced a lot of the illegal immigration right in this area, as we used to have people being pursued, crashing into our yard. One time broke my gate down. And there's bad people that come with them. I've had theft in our house over the years. Not the only one. This has been a common thing. A real tragedy was families would be running across the freeway. That turned out to be fatal for some. Sad stories. I mean, I remember hearing one family of a young family running, and they had the grandmother with them. The grandmother was hit and killed. Did the family stop? They didn't know what to do out of fear. They kept running. Could you imagine the horror of that? Having your grandmother struck and killed on the freeway and the family runs away. It's like, wow. It just gives you an idea of how tough and difficult this situation is. People coming from desperate means to come to America and all that it has to offer. And yes, we have an immigration system that works. We have 1 million legal immigrants every year, and it's good. Bringing diversity and strength and desire to pursue the American dream. That's great stuff. But people coming in these large masses of people overwhelms the systems. And of course, these people get desperate. You can imagine being out there in that, and that desperation would drive you to do crazy stuff. And you're wondering why did these activists in Honduras or wherever encourage us to come up here in such a big number? Could it be that they were trying to overwhelm or to frighten the American government and Mexican government into breaking their own laws and having to take care of all these people? You know, it's a real tragedy. It's a real shame. Some people tried to hide. I was going to see if I can find his name here. Trying to hide in the brush once they get over the fence. I'll tell you what happens to me. I like to go down to the river valley to hike and exercise. There's a lot of history down there, a lot of things that have been done in that river valley for farming, ranching, military. Military used a lot of that area during the war, World War II. And it's enjoyable. It's outdoors. It's kind of wild, even though we got millions of people on both sides of that valley. And I really enjoyed that. But the other day I go down there, nobody around. Just quiet during the holidays, people not around, but I'm getting out there and hiking, kind of wandering into the brush a little bit. And one thing I know from being around here by the Border Patrol have sensors all over the place. And they can tell when somebody's been back in the brush, and they get a little curious. Here I am, nobody around, 0 people. Here comes a couple Border Patrol agents in a pickup. Don't bother me. I wave at them, they wave back, but they hang around. They're curious what's going on, what triggered this. So it goes to show you, this place, this border area in this area is phenomenal. It's probably the most patrolled, protected piece of real estate in the world. And in a way, you feel kind of safe in that way. 'Cause I remember my kids used to play down on it. It's kind of like a jungle down there in places. Kids would go through the jungle and they would come into illegal camps. And now they don't have that because it's just so much patrolling. The walls are so much bigger. And that's how it is. It used to be they would form in groups and then come across at night. Used to give you an idea. You go around the different river channel, which of course is polluted, and you'd find bags of clothes. Now what they would do is they would put fresh clothes into trash bags, and when they crossed the river channels to where they knew they were finally through the channels and into dry ground, they would take off their wet clothes and put on the clean clothes, and then of course they were comfortable and head into the city and the crowd and try to blend in. But the Border Patrol's pretty savvy on what's going on and where it's going on now. You have Air Patrol and all those sensors, multiple things. They know what's going on. And at night, helicopters with searchlights. The border is actually lit in this area from this side. So, there's order to these things. There's ways for people to immigrate here and to do the right thing. But when they come in those masses, people encourage them to do that. That is really irresponsible. I mean, these people can get hurt. There's been a couple kids die, not across this long border coming through. People are murdered. People are enslaved by gangs. Crazy stuff, I'll tell you. So the thing with the tear gas, well, they say it's a milder form. Anyway, it's very irritating. That's the idea of tear gas, to peacefully try to get the people back off of that fence and back to wherever they were. I understand their desperation, but somebody could get killed. I mean, they were throwing rocks again over the border. There's nothing safe about that. Nothing peaceful about that. And many people, in this one article I read, they want to come in peace and do the right thing, but somebody encouraged them to do something that's just not helpful to anybody. Dangerous, difficult situation. So here I am, living near the border, seeing these issues. I have connections with Border Patrol and Customs as friends and see these things. And know it's a difficult job. Everybody wants to do the right thing. So Sometimes the news gets a little crazy, like a circus. I understand that. That's their business, is to attract your attention and news values. So I don't know if there's anything else I can add to that. I see this person that got over the wall, thought he could hide, and I'm telling you, you can't. They know you're there one way or the other. It's a crazy thing. So, you know, hope and pray for these people. You know, let's do the right thing. We have laws and order and ways of doing things right. So let's do that. Again, I'm Timothy Linsdau. Like and comment on my videos, subscribe to my channel, and I'll give you some more information as it comes about. So thanks a lot.